I never thought my life would unravel over a single document, but in the dusty heat of California's Central Valley, where tech dreams clash with old-school grit, that's exactly what happened.
I'm Emily Carter,
A senior strategist at Valley Innovations, a mid-sized firm in Fresno that specialized in pitching renewable energy solutions to big agribusiness clients. We'd been grinding for months on a proposal for Greenfields AgriCorp, a massive player based out of Bakersfield. The contract was worth $10 million, enough to put our company on the map and secure bonuses that could change lives. I poured my soul into that pitch. Nights blurred into days as I crafted every section, the market analysis drawing from local water rights laws, the strategy tailored to California's drought regulations, even a heartfelt closing that emphasized sustainable partnerships over quick profits. It wasn't just words. It was my vision, born from growing up on a family farm near Modesto, watching my parents lose everything to bad deals and corporate greed.
inside.
I wrestled with doubt. Why am I killing myself for this? I thought, staring at my laptop screen in the dim light of my apartment. The eye twitch from endless revisions wasn't just fatigue, it was the gnawing fear that my efforts would vanish into the ether, credited to someone else. But I pushed on, because that's what you do in this cutthroat world. You build, you believe, you hope. The team lead, Mike Harlan, a slick-talking exec from LA who'd golfed his way into the role, had promised me recognition. "Emily, this is your baby," he'd said in our last Zoom call, his voice dripping with false camaraderie. Dave Reynolds and Chris Talbot, the other seniors, nodded along, their faces pixelated but smug. The emergency meeting hit like a dust storm. 15 minutes before submission, Mike pulled me into a virtual huddle. "We're finalizing the packaging," he announced, his tone casual, like he was ordering coffee. I handed over the deck, watching them skim it, murmuring approvals as if they'd conjured it from thin air. My heart sank, but I bit back the protest. "They're just polishing," I told myself.
It'll be fine.
2 hours later, the shared folder updated. Final pitch, approved. I scrolled to the authorship slide. Nothing. No mention of me and contributors, appendix, or thanks. Just their names in bold: Mike Harlan, Dave Reynolds, Chris Talbot. The shock hit me like a cold wave. This can't be right. My mind screamed. A mistake. Surely. I refreshed, downloaded, checked version history.
Zilch.
My fingerprints erased. In the Slack channel, I typed carefully, "Hey team, notice my name's missing from the final deck." Clarification. Silence stretched 5, 10, 15 minutes. Then Mike's reply, a grinning emoji followed by, "We credited you in spirit."
Eminencia.
No one else chimed in. Spiritually? Like I was some ethereal muse who'd whispered ideas and faded away? The hollowness in my chest deepened. All those late nights. The clauses I fought legal over to comply with California's environmental codes. Gone. Like I never existed. I didn't rage outwardly. Instead, the inner turmoil boiled. How many times have I let this slide? I questioned myself, pacing my small living room overlooking the parched fields. For the team, for the win. But this was theft. Plain and simple, under the guise of collaboration. I closed my laptop, printed the original email I'd sent to the client, timestamped, watermarked with my subtle metadata script, and slipped it into my bag. Then, methodically, I revoked my access to every shared file, every folder I'd touched. No drama, just quiet severance. As I walked past HR's office, Sarah blinked up. "Leaving early?" "Nope," I said evenly. "For good." She fumbled, mentioning appeals, but I was already out the door, the valley sun beating down like judgment. That night, on my porch swing, the archive email stared back at me. My proof. Encrypted and safe. They think I'm done, I thought, the weight of betrayal pressing on my soul. But erasure doesn't end me. It ignites something deeper. The hollow feeling lingered, a mix of grief and resolve. I'd built that pitch from nothing, infused with my rural roots and legal savvy from years navigating farm subsidies.
Now,
it was time to reclaim what was mine, not with vengeance, but with truth. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of a storm that would force us all to confront our choices. The days after I walked out felt like drifting through a fog-shrouded canyon, the kind you find in the Sierra Nevada foothills where I used to hike to clear my head. I didn't job hunt right away. Instead, I retreated to my family's old ranch outside Fresno, helping my brother with the almond harvest. The physical labor, shaking trees, sorting nuts, was a balm for the mental chaos. But inside, the turmoil raged. Why didn't I fight harder in that meeting? I berated myself during long drives on Highway 99. Was it fear of being labeled difficult? Or just exhaustion from years of proving myself in a boys' club? The pitch I'd crafted wasn't just business. It wove in personal stakes, like referencing the Central Valley's water wars to underscore Greenfield's sustainability needs. Clause 4B, the one I'd insisted on, protected the client with quarterly audits compliant with state AG laws, my safeguard against corporate shortcuts. Word got around fast in our tight-knit industry. A former colleague texted, "Heard you bounced. Everything okay?" I replied vaguely, but the silence from Mike and the others spoke volumes. Then the envelope arrived, tucked between junk mail and a PG&E bill. Superior Court of California, Fresno County. My pulse quickened. Not a lawsuit against me, a witness summons in Greenfields versus Valley Innovations. Breach of contract. Misrepresentation. My name had surfaced in discovery. I was to preserve all materials. The inner conflict intensified. This isn't my fight anymore, I thought, staring at the legal jargon. Let them drown in their mess. But Clause 4B haunted me, the one I'd written to ensure fairness. Drawing from my dad's bitter experience with a shady fertilizer deal that bankrupted us. I opened my archive. The email to Sarah Johnson at Greenfields, sent at 12:47 a.m., attachment intact with my watermark. 3 hours before the company's final version. They'd cut 4B, the heart of the protection, probably to dodge accountability. Stupid. Illegal under California's contract laws. They gambled and lost. My mind whispered, a flicker of satisfaction mixing with regret. But what about the fallout for everyone else, the junior staff, the families relying on that contract? I backed up the files, ran integrity checks. Not out of spite, but duty. The subpoena followed, demanding testimony. My lawyer, an old friend from UC Davis, advised, this could expose them, but it's your truth. The drive to the courthouse was a whirlwind of self-doubt. Am I betraying old loyalties, or honoring my integrity? Fresno's flat landscape blurred past, mirroring my flattened spirit. In the courtroom, the air thick with tension, I sat in back, unrecognized. Mike,
Dave.
Chris fidgeted up front, their suits ill-fitting symbols of false authority. Sarah Johnson sat opposite, her face etched with disappointment. The plaintiff's attorney projected my email, sender Emily Carter. Timestamp clear. This original version included Clause 4B, she declared. The defendant's submission omitted it, constituting fraud. The room shifted. The judge peered at me. "You're the author?" "Yes. Your Honor." Inside, emotions crashed like waves, vindication tainted by sorrow. These men weren't monsters. They were products of a system that rewarded erasure. Mike's eyes met mine, wide with shock. No gloating from me, just a nod, heavy with unspoken pain. As arguments unfolded, my testimony loomed, forcing me to confront not just their betrayal, but my own complicity in staying silent too long. The drama wasn't just legal, it was a mirror to my soul, urging me to rebuild from the ruins. The witness stand felt like standing on the edge of a Grand Canyon precipice. The drop infinite, the wind howling accusations. As I swore in, the courtroom's fluorescent hum amplified my racing heart. Why me? I agonized inwardly. I left to escape this, not dive deeper. But truth has a gravity all its own. The plaintiff's counsel dove in. MS. "Carter, describe your role in the pitch." I recounted the grind, the all-nighters, the battles with legal over California's Proposition 65 compliance in Clause 4B. It was designed to protect greenfields from performance lapses, I explained, my voice steady despite the inner quake. They stole more than credit, they stole trust. Cross-examination from Valley's lawyer was brutal. "Didn't you approve the final version?" he pressed.
No, equal that.
I was sidelined.
Inside.
The storm raged. How dare they twist this? But am I flawless? I handed it over without a fight. Mike avoided my gaze. Dave scribbled notes furiously. Chris looked defeated. Sarah Johnson's testimony followed, praising my original draft. Emily's version built partnership. Theirs gutted it. The emotional weight crushed me. This isn't just about me, it's families like mine. Farmers counting on fair deals. Recess brought isolation. In the hallway, Mike approached hesitantly.
Ink.
"We didn't mean." "Save it," I snapped, but regret flooded in. He's human too, trapped in ambition's web. Back on stand, I presented the metadata, timestamps proving my authorship. The judge's nod validated me, yet sorrow deepened. Winning feels hollow if it destroys without teaching. As proceedings wrapped, my mind swirled with what-ifs. What if I'd spoken up sooner? What if they had? The drama peaked not in shouts, but silent realizations, betrayal's roots in unchecked ego, and redemption's seed in accountability. I left court exhausted, the Valley's golden hour mocking my turmoil, knowing the verdict would reshape us all. The revelations piled on, each a dagger to my conscience. Emails surfaced showing Mike's directive: streamline for brand voice, remove fluff. Fluff. That was my essence. My plea for ethical farming in a profit-driven world. How blind was I to their patterns? I tormented myself. Years of microaggressions, dismissed ideas. I enabled this. Sarah's eyes met mine during her statement, a silent thank you that pierced deeper than anger. The defense faltered, their claims of collaborative edits crumbling under forensic analysis. By day's end, the emotional crescendo hit. Alone in my truck,
Tears came.
not for them, for the lost potential. We'd been a team once, dreaming big in Fresno's innovation hubs.
Now.
Fractured by greed. But amid the pain, a spark. Maybe this forces change. The case adjourned, leaving me raw. The inner battle fiercer than any courtroom drama. Verdict day dawned crisp. The San Joaquin Valley air heavy with anticipation. Like before a rare rain. I arrived early. Nerves electric. This ends today, I thought. The weight of testimony pressing like an unseen hand. But what legacy do I leave? Destruction or growth? The judge reviewed evidence, My watermarked file versus their altered one. Clear misrepresentation, he ruled, siding with Greenfields. Valley Innovations faced fines. Contract nullification. Mike.
Dave.
Chris sat stunned. Terminations loomed per company policy on ethical breaches. Post-ruling. Chaos ensued. Reporters buzzed outside. LinkedIn lit up with speculation. Inside me, triumph warred with empathy. They lose jobs. Families suffer, like mine did. Sarah approached. Emily, let's talk. Over coffee in a nearby diner, she offered. Revive the deal under your consultancy. My LLC, dormant since grad school, suddenly viable. But doubt gnawed. Am I profiting from their fall? Signing felt bittersweet. Clause 4 be reinstated, emphasizing fair play. Mike called that night. Voice broken. We screwed up. The conversation unearthed pain, his pressures from above, my overlooked contributions. Forgiveness? Not yet. But understanding dawns. I advised, learn from this. Credit where due. The emotional depth overwhelmed. Betrayal scarred us. But vulnerability heals. As I drove home under starry skies, resolve solidified. Not revenge, but a path to better, for me, the industry. The drama shifted from conflict to catharsis, my soul aching yet hopeful. The fines hit $500,000, compliant with California's unfair competition laws. Board minutes leaked. The trio ousted for integrity violations. Jobless. They reached out indirectly, seeking settlements. I declined, but anonymously tipped resources for ethical training. Why help? My heart answered, humanity over hate. Sarah's contract flourished. My LLC thrived. Pitches now mandating attribution clauses. Inner peace flickered amid lingering grief. We've all paid. Now,
Grow.
in the aftermath, Fresno's rhythms resumed, harvests, tech meetups, but I was forever changed. The case made waves. Inspiring articles on workplace equity in Western states. My consultancy boomed. Clients drawn to my integrity. Yet, the deepest shift was internal. Betrayal taught me self-worth. But compassion tempers justice. Months later, at a Valley conference, I spotted Mike. No avoidance, we talked. You were right, he admitted, eyes downcast. We erased you to climb.
Tears welled in me.
His regret mirrors my past silences. We parted with handshakes, a silent vow for change. Greenfield's deal succeeded, benefiting local farmers with sustainable tech. I visited my family's ranch, sharing the win. This isn't triumph over them, it's proof that truth uplifts all. The emotional crescendo peaked in quiet moments, journaling conflicts, meditating on forgiveness. Life's drama isn't zero-sum. Lessons in humility bind us.
Now,
I mentor juniors, stressing credit and ethics. The scar remains, but softened. Reminder that from erasure blooms resilience, and from reckoning, redemption. In America's West, where frontiers test spirits, I found mine, not in vengeance, but in humane victory. The pain of betrayal evolved into profound empathy. How many suffer silently? I pondered nightly. Outreach programs followed, workshops on IP rights, drawing from my ordeal. Dave emailed apologies. Chris started a blog on corporate reform. Our paths crossed positively, collaborations hinted. Sarah became a friend. Our deal a model for fair business. Inner monologues turned poetic. Wounds heal when we choose light over shadow. The story's end wasn't dramatic fallout, but gentle uplift, a lesson in integrity's quiet power. reminding us that true success honors every voice.